time for our today's special value from our #1 food brand here at QVC. It's Rastelli's, but not only is it Rastelli's, honestly, it's Rastelli's greatest hits. The best of the best. Is your freezy looking a little dull, a little lackluster after this holiday? Well, this is how you're gonna restock it without having to take a trip to the grocery store and understand that you are getting the best of the best from Rastelli's. 49-time Customer Choice Food Award winner, and I'm sure there'll be plenty more when we announce the nominees next week, but look at everything that you're getting. There are no choices to make. You are getting 10 of the burgers, the Black Angus ribeye burgers, 1/3 of a pound each, the largest one that Ray Rastelli brings to us here at QVC. You're getting 10 of the jumbo all beef Angus hot dogs, nitrate-free, no mystery meat, just a massive, good, clean hot dog, which somehow I did not get a hot dog on 4th of July. I'm kind of mad, but that's okay. I was saving it for the best of the best. Then I'm gonna move you right down here to the best chicken you will ever have. Boneless, skinless, super trimmed by hand. We're gonna talk about why that's super important. You're getting 8 of those chicken breasts. And then we're finishing it off with a pièce de résistance, if you will, with the pork ribeye steaks, that Pennsylvania Dutch Country Duroc pork ribeye steaks, beautifully marbled. You don't have to choose, do I want this and this or this and that. No, you get all pieces. And you know what that adds up to? $4.41 a piece. We're gonna deep dive into all of it, but if you're looking to fill your freezer, you're doing it right here at a today's special value. Under $150, a $30 easy pay, and you best believe that price is gonna go up at the end of the day today. That is the nature of a today's special value. It is M134495. The only choice you have to make is your choice of ship weeks. You can have it shipped immediately, because you're looking depleted in that freezer right now. You can have it shipped the week of July 28th, and we're getting limited there, only 2,600 remaining, or you can have it shipped the week of August 25th. That is the most limited, with only 900 remaining right there. The other thing that I am imploring you to do, because this is the best of the best, the greatest hits, all the icons from our #1 food brand right here, is lock this in on auto delivery. Then it's just, you don't have to think about it. What's for dinner? I don't know. Open the freezer, close your eyes, pick something. It's going to be delicious. Auto delivery is every 90 days for a year. Here he is, the man, the myth, the legend, Ray Rastelli himself. Hi.
Julie, how are you?
Oh, I'm so good. I'm always so happy when I get to see you and spend a holiday weekend with you with an amazing today's special value.
You know, you mentioned greatest hits, and that's really what this is. I wanted to make sure we filled your freezer with things that were not only just great today for that barbecue to restock, but also all year round. So let's start with our prime rib burger.
Oh, look at that juice.
Think about this. This is juice that's coming from a ribeye. So when we make this burger, this is actually made out of ribeye steak and a chuck blend. So what you're seeing is the marbling that's in our ribeye steak, you're seeing melting right into these burgers. So it's not going to be just the greatest burger you've had, but I will tell you, it's also an incredible steak if you just want to cut it like a steak. Now, the reason our burgers are so much different, besides the Angus and besides it being ribeye, Julia, a traditional burger is so dense that it actually cooks from the outside in. So you get burnt edges and uncooked middles. Our burger, our meat is actually folded together. Now, when you fold that meat together, what happens is it cooks from the inside out. It steams. You take our burgers right out of the package from frozen, drop them on your grill or in your skillet. At about the 4 to 5 minute mark, you'll see some pooling on top, moisture. That's when you drop the seasoning on that you're getting, flip it over one time, do not press, and that's what happens. The burger actually plumps. So these burgers, as big as they are, which is 5.33 ounces, the largest that we make, they just get bigger and they keep coming and coming and coming. And this is what you
ultimate
want.
burger.
It really is. It's the burger that, as a burger, like I said, it's wonderful. But let me show you when I cut it like a steak what it looks like, right? Think about just cutting this. How many of us love a great ribeye steak or love any kind of steak, but maybe some steaks aren't as tender as you'd like? I want you to look at what does a steak look like? That's what a steak looks like.
That's what a steak looks like, Ray.
That's exactly a ribeye and chuck steak. So that's going to be tender, it's going to be juicy, and there's a lot of it there at 5.33 ounces.
I mean, they're huge. They are huge. And I mean, the magic words for me always with your burgers is that you cook it from frozen.
Yes.
So it could be like instant gratification, basically. You're like, ooh, a burger sounds delicious. Whether you're putting it on a bun, you're doing it protein style, putting it over a salad, it truly is a steak burger. You can see that marbling, you can see that juiciness, and the fact that it plumps make it even bigger. And again, the biggest burger that you bring. And you're getting 10 of them. Okay, what's
Let's
next?
move
Can I
to
have
our
a little bite
pork.
of that, though?
Yep, there you go. Here,
just need
and
a
here's
little-
that nice part. Go ahead, you can just cut it right with a fork because
I can.
again, it's such a tender piece of meat because of the way we just fold it together. And don't forget, you're getting the seasoning with that as well.
It's so tender.
Right? It just melts in
It's
your
so
mouth.
flavorful. And I noticed you put some of that Rastelli seasoning on there.
Always
which you will
do that.
get.
Yes.
Worth the
yes.
price of admission right there, that seasoning. Oh, that's so good.
So
Okay.
these are our prime pork ribeye steaks. Now these are from Duroc Hogs. These come from the Pennsylvania Dutch Amish country. And why is that important? Well, it's important because you know now where your meat comes from. It's important for me as a butcher for 49 years to know who's bringing it to us and making sure we get exactly what we want. This is a ribeye, just like a prime rib of beef or a ribeye steak. This is a ribeye of pork. And I want to show you just how juicy, how tender this is and how simple this is. Now, I call it a steak because it can be cooked just like a steak. Now, have you ever had a pork steak or a pork chop that's that tender, that's that juicy? And again, Pennsylvania Dutch pork, Duroc Hogs. Now, Duroc is the equivalent to Angus and beef. So we bring in Angus beef for all of our beef products, but we use Duroc pork for our pork products. I want to give nothing but the very best to our guests when they walk into butcher shop, and of course to our QVC family as well.
Now, we don't see that all the time, the pork steaks, and they have a tendency to sell out. The fact that you're getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them in this pack up is really impressive.
Yeah, and here's one of the reasons, Julia. Look at this. Now, have you ever been able to go right through the center of your pork steak or your pork chop with a fork? You can with this. So it's going to be, anything you do with this is going to be incredibly tender, and I know you're looking for a bite
He knows
there.
me so well.
Go ahead,
I was just called out by Ray Rastelli. All right, perfect size. Thank you.
Now, one of the things I always get from our guests, I mean, it is
so tender.
Isn't it tender
It
and
melts
moist
in your
and
mouth.
moist, and that's yeah, that's what everyone says. When they taste this pork, they can't believe it's actually pork because it is tender, and you only have to cook this to 145 degrees.
And it's so light and flavorful at the same time.
It is. And one of the questions I get all the time about our pork is they say, well, you have these beautiful, they're pork steaks. Can you make a pork chop out of it? Can you just bread it? Well, that's what I did right next to it here. So I just took one of them, and of course, I egg washed it, and I battered it. And I want you to see what this looks like inside, because you would think that after you fried this or you baked this, you would dry this pork out. That's not the case. I want you to see just what the inside
look at all that
of
juice just
that pork looks
pouring
like.
out.
Look at the juice inside of that pork chop. That's a really nice, thick pork chop. It's going to be incredibly flavorful, and it's going to have, of course, that coating on the outside, but here's the other thing I love about it, Julie. Even as thick as that is, I'm going to go right through the center.
Oh.
Look at this.
Okay.
Right through this. I mean, that's what you deserve when you get the very best pork. Duroc Hogs that are raised in the Pennsylvania Dutch country that you should be able to cut with a fork just like I do.
So tender.
Look how simple and tender that is.
Oh
right?
my gosh. I mean,
Right?
the creativity that you can do with this for your dinner table, if you're feeding your family, whether you're a family of 1, 2, 6, this is going to be absolutely a crowd pleaser. Anything that you thought you knew about pork, throw it out the window and try this Duroc pork. It's so delicious.
It is, and actually there's our schnitzel, and all I did there was flattened out a couple of those pork chops, breaded them, and of course fried them. You know what? A little bit of country gravy on top. So think about it. You're getting 34 dinners
pieces
in this pack up, right?
$4.41 a piece.
So you're gonna eat for a long time. It's what we call the meat sweats in our business. But you know what? Think about
I know them well.
Think about not having to go to the supermarket when you're out of something, because you've got so many different dinners you've got here. And I pick these items not just because they're fan favorites, but also because they're so versatile. You can do so many things. But I'm going to go to our dog, right? Because
You've never been more excited.
this is something that's really special. And there's a few things that make this special. First of all, it's a very large hot dog. It's 3.2 ounces. A typical hot dog is about 1.5 to 2 ounces. So it's twice the size. Now, the nice part about it is as your butcher, I know what's in it because we make these hot dogs or these frankfurters. The reason I call them frankfurters is because the recipe we use, which is the ingredients inside here, comes from Frankfurt, Germany, and it's a recipe from the 1800s. Oh. But the key is this is all Angus beef that's in here. This is not pork, it's not mystery meat, and it's Angus beef. And you're going to be able to see when I cut into it, you're going to be able to see that it's Angus beef because I want you to see the color of that, right? This is all steak. This is Angus steak that we have taken to make this incredibly beautiful, moist Frankfurter or hot dog. But it's a jumbo hot dog. And every bite, you'll get that incredible flavor from our recipe. But really, it's the Angus that makes the difference. So when you bite into this Frankfurter, you're going to taste the difference.
And you're getting 10 of those as well. You know you have to cut me one,
I will
one of those
cut
up.
you a piece of that.
We have a little mustard. Okay, perfect. All right, I have been craving a hot dog all weekend. I've been saving myself for this one.
You just want a little piece, huh?
For now, yes.
For now, there
For
you
now.
go.
We'll see about later.
There's a little piece.
All right, get a little dollop of mustard on that. I'm a purist, you know. There we go. Oh my gosh, I've been so excited for this. So excited.
Right?
Oh my gosh. It's the best hot dog you'll ever have.
It really is.
Did you have hot dogs this weekend? They are subpar to what you're getting here. Nothing compares to this hot dog. It's so juicy, flavorful, because you're getting, this is a beef hot dog. This is a steak dog right here.
That's exactly what it is.
Oh my gosh, that's so good.
And again, it's made out of Angus beef. So, you know, as a butcher for 49 years, my job is to make sure we put the very, very best in the butcher shop and of course to our QVC family. So when we're going to do a Frankfurter or a hot dog, we start with the very, very best Angus. So we got lots of Angus beef here in our hot dogs. We've got Angus ribeyes in our burgers.
Okay.
We've talked about that. Yes, we
Duroc.
talked about Duroc. Now let's talk about chicken because chicken is the most widely used protein. These are 29 grams of protein in this 5-ounce piece of chicken.
Really?
There's also 29 grams in our 6-ounce piece of pork. So lots of protein in here. But what you're going to notice with chicken is that not all chicken is created equal. This is an all natural chicken, which means it's antibiotic free, it's steroid free, it's hormone free. These are raised the way chickens are supposed to be raised, which is in open space, and they're only fed a vegetarian diet. What you get is this. You get a chicken breast that's moist. You get a chicken breast that has no fat. It's super trim. We've taken every ounce of fat, every ounce of skin off of it, and we've made it so that whatever you happen to do with your chicken, whether it's just a grilled chicken, whether it's on a salad, whether it's a Milanese or a marinara, there's so many different things you can do. But when you taste this chicken, you're going to taste the difference, dramatic difference, because it's clean, completely cleaned, but antibiotic-free, steroid-free, hormone-free. And the other thing that I love about it, again, Julie, because this is so important, just with a fork, we're going to go right through our chicken breast, right?
So I remember the first time I ever presented these.
To go right through the chicken breast.
And it was just the chicken breast, not a freezer filler, which, by the way, has a tendency to sell out when we have a freezer filler. But today, as a today's special value, you have to pick this up, $4.41 a piece. So the first time I presented this, I was actually at your butcher shop. I was in your studio right there, working with your son, and I was like, are we doing chicken breast, really? And the more it was explained to me, the more I was like, oh my gosh, this is how chicken is supposed to taste. What you've had in the past, it's not what you're getting here. This is how chicken is meant to be enjoyed, and we sold out.
Listen, we're not going to bring you something that you could just go and pick up in the supermarket that is just subpar. We're going to make sure that when you come to the butcher shop, you're coming back every single week. See, I happen to live in that butcher shop for 49 years.
49
I get to see my guests that come in every week. So I've got to give you something special. So our chicken is really special. When you taste it, you will notice the difference. The pork is unlike any pork you've ever eaten. And of course, our burgers, well, I think everyone knows the Rastelli burger is so different than any burger. And look at the juice just sitting on there.
Yeah.
And don't forget the seasoning, because you will get the seasoning as well.
Okay, 11,000 orders have been placed today since we made this available at midnight. It's a very exciting today's special value. It really sets you up for success, truly for the entire year,
Yes.
especially if you lock in on auto delivery. So let me show you everything that you're getting. You don't have to make a choice. You're getting everything that you see here. You are getting 10 of the Black Angus ribeye and chuck burgers, almost a third of a pound each, and the biggest burger that Ray Rastelli brings to us here at QVC. 10 of those all beef hot dogs, jumbo in size, the best dog ever. You are getting 8 of those chicken breasts, super trimmed by hand chicken breasts, and you're getting 6 of the Duroc pork ribeye steaks. It's new today. It's a price that goes away at the end of the day. Under $150, $4.41 a piece. We are talking protein as far as the eye can see. And if you want to come see this auto delivery, just to give you a little inspiration, when you lock this in, you'll receive your freezer fillers every 90 days for an entire year. And we're setting you up for success for that whole year.